What is going on, creative? Sunjay again from Ceasar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what you need to grow as a creative. This video is for both in-house and freelance designer. We're going to be talking about how to make money, how to get clients, and how to be creative. So sit back, relax, and get watching. Every designer is always looking for ways to excel, and which is, normal to anybody who is into the making of money with your skill. The two most common area where most creatives are always looking for ways to grow is the creativity part and the making of the money part. But I'm going to start with designers that work in-house. All right. Now, if you are that designer that your boss is always hailing you, or he or she is always saying, "I'm happy we have somebody like you as part of our team," please don't get carried away by this. And I'll tell you why. Because, every designer have his or her own style of doing design. And most brands, most organizations, they at times get tired of, our style if we are not careful. Because I know designers always say, okay, this is my style of design, and I'm happy that most of the people I'm working for, they like it, and I just want to remain like that. No, you see, what will make you grow in this business is when you are good at creating what people don't see coming. So if you're working for that organization and you notice that your boss is always saying, yes, they like what you do, kudos to you, but please don't be too relaxed. But if they start getting used to your style, the next thing you see them doing is either they start owing you, or they start looking for another designer who can come up with something new that they are not used to. So what I'm going to advise you to do as a creative is for you to make your value stronger where you are at the moment. You need to keep doing research. In fact, as a designer, one of the things that make us excel, one of the things that make us stand out from every other designer is the doing of the research part and studying. There are so many designs out there. There are so many concepts you can achieve as a designer to create that unexpected solution in any design you're working on. But you can't achieve this if you are too relaxed or you settle down with that idea that you are used to. In fact, one of the things that make us creative is when we are good at checking out good designs, like looking at good designs. Now, I'm still going to go back to this when I get to the talking to the freelance designers. All right. So, but don't be too relaxed. That's my message for you, because we designers, we are like the image to any organization we're working for, because our style of design is what most brands use to pass their message to their audience. And when they see that our style of design is now becoming what people can easily predict, they start looking for somebody else to replace us. So my advice for you is start working on doing research. Start working on looking at good design so you can start creating what your boss or the organization you're working for don't see coming. And let me say this to you: if that organization you're working for right now is paying you well, I want you to know that there are other organizations who can pay far better than what the organization that you're working for is paying you. But you can't do this right if you don't create what most brands don't see coming. I've had the opportunity to work as in-house for a brand agency before, and the agreement I had with the brand agency was to always appear 4 times in a week, like sit in the office 4 times in a week. And I found out that my going there is not really helping my creativity. But before I changed the agreement, I make sure that any project I'm asked to work on, I make sure that it looks unique. I try my best to create something interesting. So when I went to the boss to let her know that I won't be able to always come down to the office to work anymore. She agreed. And the reason why I believe she agreed, which I know that you can also agree with me, is the fact that the boss found out that there's value in what I do. And that's another thing you need to know. Every organization you're working for, what they are looking for from you is your value. When they notice that your value is getting faded, like it's fading, they start looking for somebody else. And that's why you notice most times they say, okay, we're not going to pay you for this month. We're going to pay you next month. And then they start owing you. But when they see that you carry what they need, when they see that your style of design is very, very huge, like it's heavy, to owe you is going to be difficult. I've also had this experience of working for a magazine company where, the boss of this company is used to owing his staffs. And when I joined the team, the people I met there told me that, see, our boss is used to owing people. And we're letting you know this now because the previous designer, the boss, owed the person, and in fact, he didn't even pay the person. And the person had to, sign out with anger. And I told them that they don't owe people like us, which is true. And when I told them, they were laughing. They were like, boy, you're joking. This man will owe you. And truly, when I was going to get my first salary, the boss of this company slashed my salary into two. He paid half and said, okay, we're going to pay you the remaining balance in the middle of the month. And I said, no, but I can't work. And he said, why? I said, no, I don't work that way. And I told him, I'm not going to work until I get my balance. And truly, he paid my balance. So if you don't want any organization to owe you, if you don't want your boss to owe you, please make your value so strong that if you tell them I'm not working again, they'll see them saying, please, let's tell us how much you want us to add to your pay. All right. And another thing I want to advise you to do is please don't be too relaxed to the point where you forget to design your portfolio. The fact that you're working in-house for any organization does not mean you should not have a portfolio. You still need to have a portfolio and start looking out for better offers because you deserve something good. One of the things that help we creative to function the way we are supposed to is when we find ourselves in that environment where what we're getting is enough to pay our bills. Because you're not being able to pay bills most time can affect your creativity. Creativity doesn't come when you are thinking of one problem you are supposed to solve elsewhere. Creativity comes when you are fully relaxed. So make sure that you work under an organization where you know the money you're getting from there is enough to clear anything that can stop you from being creative. All right. Now, I'm going straight to the freelance designer. I know most freelance designer are always saying, how do I get clients? How do I, make people know that, yes, I'm ready to work? You see, I want to say this to every one of you. The clients you're looking for, they are around you. All right. The people you are looking at working for, they're already around you. But the reason why they can't find you is because you are not shouting enough. All right. You are not shouting enough. And when you don't shout, there's no way they'll be able to locate you. When I say shout, I'm talking of how do you use your social media account? Are you those type of designer that posts more of your personal pictures than the service you render? And I want to say this to every one of you. I don't care if you get angry with me. Nobody care about you on social media. Yes, if you have lots of followers on social media today, the reason why most of them follow you is because there's something they see in you that they want. If you notice that your number of followers are less, it means you are not really adding value. In fact, the number of followers you have is what you're supposed to use to scale your level of value. So people follow you on social media because they know you have what they need. And that's the same thing that happens to clients. Every client is looking for someone who can help support what they do. But before they come contact you. They like to see how you've been able to solve your problem, because they don't want somebody who is going to add to their problem. Somebody who's not good in design and is working for an agency who's looking at getting more clients. You're going to add more to the brand that way. So as creatives, what you're supposed to do is to first solve your problem. How do you solve a problem? The type of designs, the type of content you post on your social media account is very, very important. In fact, social media these days is one of the easiest way to get clients. I'm saying this to you because I've experienced this. Most of the people I work for are people who are not in my country. I've worked for people in Africa. I've worked for people in Europe. I've worked for people in America. And how they were able to get my contact is through what I'm sharing with you guys now. I'm a type of designer who don't see social media as a place where I show my personal self. No, I don't see social media like that. I see social media as an office where I display my service. And that's the reason why if you go to my social media account, you see I have lots of followers. And the reason why I have those followers is because I know most of the people who follow me are people who like what I do, and they want to have something like that. So if you want to get clients, guys, you need to start putting yourself out there. In fact, shout yourself to the point where the people that need you will locate you. Value is what most organizations is looking for. When they see that you don't have that value, which is that part of your solving your problem, forget about getting clients. And before you post any design on your social media account, you need to first ask yourself, what are those type of designs? What are those type of projects that I like to work on or I like to do? Those type of designs are what you're going to put up on your social media account. Now, I'm not saying you should not put other project on your social media account, but let's have more of the project you love doing the most, so that if the clients that like that type of project you love doing contact you, you won't see working for the client as stress. Rather, you see it as fun. All right, because one of the things that help create your creativity is when you do something you like doing, when you're playing with something you love doing. All right. Now, I know some of you watching me now are asking yourself that, okay, so how am I going to now create that type of project that would draw the attention of my target audience? It's very easy. Now, before I tell you how to know how to come up with that type of project that will draw their attention, I want to quickly let you know that, you see, this design business is in form of a circle. All right, it goes round, and I'll break it down. Now, before you can create a project that draws the attention of the right clients, you need to first learn the habit of giving to design. If you don't give to design, you can't receive from design. Now, your receiving part is when you've gotten a client that love what you do, they pay you, and then you still continue training yourself, doing research, and then you give what you have to the client, they pay you again, and then it goes like that. The day you stop doing research, the day you stop training yourself, is the day you break that chain, that connection of that circle. And when you break the circle, when you break the connection, trust me, guys, you are not going to get from design again. It's like a seed. All right? You can't reap from what you don't sow. You reap from what you sow. And that's how it is. So when you sow the seed of doing research, all right, then you now start wetting the seed. Now, how we wet the seed as designer is solving the equation of why the design looks successful to you. You're being able to solve the equation of why the design looks successful to you is what activates that creativity inside of you. Now, I want to say this again before I forget. Now, you see, guys, I know so many of you think, okay, so if I take out that design, does it mean I may have to now start thinking of how to create my own new look of the design? You see, I want to say this to you. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything we have around us today are things that some people already designed. All right, now because they are old, then the new people we have now just looked at it and then add their own to what those old people already designed. And that's how it is in design. When you see a design that looks successful to you, pick what you notice that is unique to you on that design, add it to your project. Now, I'm not saying you should to apply everything you copy on that design on your project. That's not the goal. The goal is pick something that you notice that look unique to you, add it to the design, and then add your own concept to the design so it looks like it belongs to you. And when you are good at doing the unexpected, trust me, guys, you will surely get clients that will contact you. All right. Now, there are several ways you can get inspiration as a designer. You can get inspiration for design when going out. Maybe there's a billboard you saw somewhere, you like the billboard, take the picture of the billboard, and then you have it as part of your archive. Or maybe you are in a building where you just like the way they designed the staircase of that building. You can also drive inspiration from there. There are several ways you can drive inspiration. And that is why, all right, what I'm about to say now is for both in-house designer and freelance designer. We don't live our life the way ordinary people live their life. We live our life paying attention to everything that we see around us. And that's why if I go anywhere, one of the things I always do is I try as much as possible to see what I can use or what I can copy and paste in my memory. So whenever I have any project I'm supposed to work on, I just pick the inspiration from there and add it to my project. Now, see, guys, this is not art. I know some of you may start thinking, oh, so that means I have to start paying attention to everything around me. No, I'm not saying when you go out every time, you now start looking around, looking for something you can, copy. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when you go out, if there's anything that looks striking to you, try to pick that thing that looks successful to you, then add it to your brain. All right. And then when you have any project you're supposed to work on, take that thing that looks successful to you and add it to your project. You see, design is easy when you remember that it's a process and not a result. The process part, I know there's a part of understanding the goal you're supposed to solve, the gathering of elements, but there's this part of picking from what you've seen somewhere and adding it to your project, which is what always helps us with achieving good design fast and easy. All right. So if you want to get clients as a creative, you need to give to design. You need to always put yourself out there. You need to always put the type of project you want to see yourself doing on your social media account. And the people who love what you do will surely contact you one day. Now, there's a way to do this. All right. You don't just post the design and just put it there. No, you need to let people understand how you think. You need to understand you need to explain the goal and then how you were able to solve the problem. I know some of you are now looking at it like, okay, so do I have to have a client to be able to do this? No, you don't really need to have a client to do this. All right. You can always pick ready-made design, redesign the project, and then post it on your social media account. Nobody's going to arrest you or nobody's going to ask you, were you asked to do this? All right. And clients, most time, they like somebody who love what he or she is into. They like it when they see that you love design. So when they even hear that nobody asked you to do the design, you just did it because you think what the brand did is not really okay. So you decided to recreate it to make it look the way it's supposed to. I'm telling you, they'll like you for it. All right. So, and for those of you who think, okay, I'm still not good, please don't use that. Don't make that an excuse. The fact that you're not good as a creative person does not mean you should not put something up for people to see. All right. So I'm advising you as a freelance designer, if you want to get clients, this is what you need to do. You need to put yourself out there. I'm telling you, and see, it's not that when you put yourself out there, you'll get clients immediately. No, that's not how to do it. You need to keep doing it. All right. You don't stop doing it. Just keep doing it. One day somebody's going to contact you. I'm telling you based on what I've experienced. Most of the people I work for today are people that don't even know me. In fact, we've not seen eye to eye. Okay, I'm in Nigeria and I'm working for somebody in Ghana. I'm working for somebody in US. I'm working for somebody in London. All right. So most of my clients have not. The only time I see their picture is when I go to their social media account to look at their faces, and they don't even know me. All right. So please, you need to do this. And then the other thing you need to learn how to do as a freelance designer that I believe will help you grow as a designer is don't be about yourself. All right. Help other people, help creatives, share design ideas with them. Well, if you do this, all right, if you start helping creatives with your gift, I'm telling you, they will share things you don't even know. Things you think you know, they will give you advanced version of that thing, and you'll be shocked and you'll be surprised. All right. Start helping people. Then the other people you need to help is companies. Let them understand why you are good or fit for the business. Now, there's the part of posting your design. There's also the part of you educating them to make them know why they need design for their brand. Most of the organizations that see us do this, we create this impression of making them know that, yes, we know what we're doing. And that's what most organizations is looking for. Your value, what you carry is what they are looking for. All right. What you carry, how you can support their brand is what they are looking for. And that's why if they notice that you don't have what they need, if you don't have value, they won't contact you. All right. They won't, because every organization needs help. They are looking for people to help them. All right. So for the part of making money, all right, I know I've heard so many creatives say, how do I bill for design? All right. How do I charge clients? You see, your billing for design, all right, I don't believe there should be a fixed price for billing for design, and I'll tell you why. Because every design project, all right, they have the different time we spend on it. So what I do most of the time whenever I'm asked to work on project for client is I ask them question about the goal, what we're trying to achieve, and then I look at all the things I need to put together to get the work done. So what you now need to do is you need to now check yourself. All right, look at yourself and ask yourself this question: that what do I deserve for this type of project? And then you use that to charge the client. And don't be afraid to charge people, please. I know so many creatives are always scared of charging clients. In fact, I've lost jobs from big organizations because I charged less. Some clients don't like giving their job to someone who doesn't think big. All right. And I've also had the experience of working for clients who say, we can't afford you. You are too expensive. All right. So, but because you have, you charge a client that said they can't afford you, does not mean you should not call your price, please. And the funniest thing is even that clients who pay less, they are the one with they are the troublemakers. The people who don't pay us well, they are the ones who always want to, disturb our life, because they believe the money they are paying us is just to help us. They believe they are paying us to help us. There's this man that contacted me, and he said, how much do I charge for design? And I gave him my bill. And the response he gave me was, the money you're charging me, is it for you to buy a new computer for me or what? And I told him, no, it's to do the design. And then he said, no, that if I can accept the offer that is planning to pay me, it's going to refer me to other clients, like other people. And I say, no, I don't want to do that, because you're referring me to other people is me meeting more people like you. So I told the client, no, I've worked for people like them in the past. That was during my growing time, which is normal. All right. You need to do that. If you're growing as a creative, all right, there's this part of you working for people who cannot really pay big designers. And the reason why you need to work for them is because you need to know the area where you lack, where you still need help. So it is true working for these people that you be able to know all these things, because when you work for them, they make corrections. They tell you, there's this thing you did here, I don't like it, and don't put it like this, and let it look this way. And there are times where clients will make correction on designs, and that design will look successful. Now, I decided to add this because I know some designers don't like it when clients make corrections. There are times where clients will make correction and point your attention to something you are not even thinking about, that by the time you add it to the project, it helps the success of the project. So don't always feel bad when clients ask you to make corrections on design. Okay, so you need to do it. You need to work for people who cannot really pay expensive designers. All right, in order to be able to, in order to be able to grow as a creative person. And before I go, guys, this is for every one of you. Please don't become a local champion on one application. I beg every one of you. Because one of the things that help your creativity is when you are good at using other applications. There are some projects that you can achieve with CorelDRAW that you can achieve with Cinema 4D. All right, there are some projects you can achieve with Cinema 4D that you can achieve with Photoshop or CorelDRAW. All right, so in order for you to be able to surprise your clients, please don't get used to just using one application. And if you are those designers who are very good at using shortcuts, like you know how the shortcut keys on the application you're using, that is not what that organization you're looking for needs. So, because I know some designers they are good at using their elbow to press the shortcut, like they can even use their knuckle to hit the shortcut on the design application that they use to achieve design. That's not what they need. What they need is your value. What can you give us? How can you add to what we already have? And that's why when any organization is interviewing you, they say this: how are you going to add to what we already have? That's what they are looking for. It's not like they're asking you that question because it's part of what every organization always asks. All right, they're asking you because that's what they need. All right, so if you're a designer and you really want to grow, you really want to surprise your clients, don't be a local champion on one application. All right, have idea on other applications, so that if you see any design that looks successful to you, you will be able to know the right application to use to achieve that type of design. All right, and also please, guys, this is for the in-house people now. Your value is very important. Make sure you are adding value where you are at the moment. Make sure you are making that your impact of you being in that I want to say family, that team. Make it work. All right, make them know that yes, this guy is here, so that if you say you want to increase your pay, they won't have any other choice than to say, okay, we'll pay you. All right, and if you're a freelance designer, please do not stop studying. In fact, it's not only freelance designer, but this is for both freelance and in-house designer. Studying is very, very important. You don't try as much as possible not to allow excuses to stop you from studying. You need to study for you to grow as a creative person. And lastly, before I go, I need to share these important 3 things with you. For you to achieve your goal as a creative person, for you to excel as a creative person, you need to do these 3 things. Number 1 is your association. All right, mind the people you associate yourself with. Are you the type of designer that associate yourself with people who talk about problem and not talk about the solution? Or you are the type of people who sit in the midst of people who complain and grumble? If you really want to excel in anything you find yourself doing, you need to avoid this type of people. Sit down with the people who are always talking about problem and solution. All right, you need it if you really want to excel. Then the second thing you need to do is your mindset. If you really want to grow as a creative person, if you really want to excel as a creative person, your mindset is very important. You need to first see yourself achieving that thing that you want to achieve before you will be able to achieve it. Now, I'm not saying that when you see yourself achieving it, you now sit down and start feeling like, yes, I will. No, You need to do what the people who achieve goals do. What did they do? They do research. All right. And then they have that goal. That's where they want to see themselves in front of them. And that's why they say it all the time. And they have this mindset that yes, they will. I remember when I wanted to get these gadgets, the amount to get this gadget back then was so expensive for me to achieve. But there's something I always say to myself then, and what I always said then was, I know I'm going to achieve getting this device. All right. So I did not pay attention to the amount. I wasn't looking at the money. All right. I was focusing on getting the device. And when God was going to do it, a client from the United States gave me a contract that paid for the gadget. If in fact, after paying for the gadget, I still have more, money with me to do other things. So if you want to achieve anything, if you want to be a good designer, you want to make money as a designer, you need to first change your mindset. You need to start looking at yourself as that person who already have that thing that you want to achieve. All right. And lastly, fear is one of the greatest enemy to achieve anything you want to achieve. All right. Don't be afraid. Take whatever you are right now as a test for you to get to where you want to get to. If you have where you want to get to in life, you will surely get there if you don't allow fear to creep in. Fear is our greatest enemy as creatives. And that's why whenever you are asked to work on design project and you put this fear inside of you that, oh, how am I going to achieve this? I know Ceasar is good at achieving project like this, and I'm not as good as Ceasar. So how am I going to achieve this project? I know Chris Doe is good at teaching people how to make money as designers. How am I going to make money? So you need to first put away fear. Fear is what stops us from achieving anything we want to achieve. And that's why whenever you're asked to work on design project and you did not put fear, you didn't allow fear to creep in, you play. In fact, your playing is what make that design happen. When you don't play as a designer, all right, you won't be able to achieve a good design. And I want to say this to you. There is no one right way to achieve a good design. There are a million ways to achieve design. So don't say, okay, there's a way, there's the picture, there's a scene I'm supposed to create here. No, just have fun, just play, enjoy playing on working on the project, and you see yourself doing the unexpected. Just have fun and play. All right. And please, guys, there's this part of God in what we do. All right. They say, give what belongs to Caesar, the key master. All right. The leader to all these things that I explain here is God. All right. So you have to give to God so you can receive. And how do you give to God? It's very easy. Obey his commandments. Do all what he asks you to do. In fact, the secret to success is from God. If you follow all the instruction, the laws that God gave us, you'll find out that the true way to achieve all we want to achieve is from him. Yeah, I need to add this because somebody needs to hear it. I'm sure you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. Share this video with other creatives, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, which is one of the ways you can support this channel. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.